When you understand what free will is, it is so much easier to understand manifestation. Now, if you're like me, you have been around the manifestation circle a few times and you've heard teacher after teacher talking about manifestation. You've probably applied multiple practices and maybe you kind of get it. Maybe you've got intermittent results from manifestation, but you don't know what it is to consistently manifest what you desire and to feel safe in being able to repeat that process because you know what it is that creates it. It's not just this kind of idea of like, yeah, I kind of get it. I felt this thing. I thought this thing. I led myself. I did some identity work and some trauma work, and I got this result. You really understand not what causes you to manifest what you desire. You understand what causes you not to. Because it's when you understand what blocks your manifestation, then anytime you're not getting what you want, you can see what's causing it. So this week's episode is about that. Understanding free will. This is such a powerful conversation. Like, do you believe in free will? Do you believe that you have free will? Do you believe you have autonomy, you have sovereignty when it comes to what you think, what you feel, what you create, the decisions you make? So this week's episode is a powerful one. I invite you to listen to it multiple times because each time you do, you're going to hear something different. So welcome to this week's episode, very exciting episode of your Power Packed Podlets. My name is Rachel, and I'm your host for these mini magical journeys together. For those of you who we're just meeting for the first time, I'm a business coach and spiritual mentor, and I work with women in business who prefer a holistic approach, not just to business, to life. What is it to understand the human experience? What is it to know thyself? What is it to have health and happiness and your success and impact be a byproduct of that? That every step in your path, you gain more confidence and therefore you're able to serve people at greater and greater levels. Each step in your path, as you clear the patterns that cause you to suffer, you're able to help others from a place of integrity and safety within yourself. So this conversation is not just about manifesting success in your business. It's not just about creating greater levels of income and time freedom and turning what is a passion for you into an income. This is about what you model to others because of who you are within yourself and what you know to be true. So this is a super powerful conversation if what you desire is to be of service. In another episode, we're going to talk about what does it really mean to be of service, to be of true service to others? Because there's a misconception around service, and I know that a lot of you listening, you have this unconscious perception that overgiving of yourself and prioritizing other people's happiness and well-being, that is service. And so in another episode, we're going to unpack that and we're going to unravel it so you can understand what it is to be of true service. For today, let's talk about manifestation. And for today, let's talk about free will. Now, before we get into the conversation around free will, let's scratch the surface of manifestation. Actually, this is much deeper than scratching the surface. Maybe you've never heard it spoken about in this way. Because you don't manifest what you desire. You don't manifest what you focus on a conscious level. You manifest what you believe to be true in every single cell of your body. You manifest what your patterns and programs believe to make logical sense. You manifest what you think yourself to be on an unconscious level. So often what we're desiring is to manifest from a surface level. You've probably seen this image of the iceberg, right? Where the tip of the iceberg above the surface of the water, that's conscious awareness. And then everything underneath, which is a huge bulk of the iceberg, is the unconscious and the subconscious. You don't manifest from what's above the surface. You manifest from what's below the surface. Because it's those automated responses to things. It's the thought beneath the thought It's the voice that you don't hear, you're not conscious of hearing. It's the feeling that you're not conscious that you're suppressing or avoiding. And it's the program that you're not aware of that you're running on. That is what manifests your reality. So when you're wanting to consciously manifest something differently, we think that we have free will. We only have free will when we awaken to what is automated thought, when we awaken to which are the emotions that we are avoiding, suppressing, or rejecting, and we awaken to what is a program and what is conscious choice. Only then are we actually operating from free will. The moment that when you train yourself, and this is not something that happens overnight, because maybe you find yourself tapping into these YouTube shorts that tell you how to manifest in 5 seconds. It's sexy. The idea is sexy. Let's tap into that. Yeah, and let's manifest in 5 seconds. And it's through repetition. It's training your capacity to have awareness of the thoughts that do not serve you, to not choose them as your truth. Let me repeat that again. Free will is what leads to your capacity to consciously manifest what you desire, to then unconsciously manifest what you desire. Yeah? When you have free will and you understand free will and you are able to lead in your life from free will, then you can program into that big chunk of the iceberg that's underneath the surface. You can program in what creates what you desire to manifest. I'm going to explain it in simpler terms. Let's start with the complex and then go down to the simple. So, when you are capable of observing thought, having awareness of thought, and every single thought that does not serve you, based on where you want to go, you will have the capacity to question whether it is true or not, and therefore you have sovereignty, free will of mind. Free will in mind is that. The fact that you do not accept every thought as your truth. You question the thoughts that do not serve you based on where you want to go. Then we have sovereignty, autonomy, free will of emotion. What is free will of emotion? There are so many emotions right now. In fact, not many. There are the basic ones. There's fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of ridicule, fear of failure. Have I already said that one? Probably have. It is the things that you are trying to avoid, reject, or suppress on an emotional level. That is what you are a slave to. That is where you cease to have free will, because it is the avoidance of that that is stopping you, blocking you from manifesting what you desire. Because rather than taking the easiest path to the goal, you're avoiding all of the monsters along the way. If you imagine a Mario Brothers game, rather than actually beating the monsters, which are your shadows, actually meeting the shadows and seeing the light within the shadow. This is the work when it comes to emotions. Beneath every fear is light. Beneath every shadow is light. Within the darkness, when you are with the darkness, you will find there is only light. But it is trying to avoid the darkness, trying to avoid the fears, trying to look away from the shadows. They look dark, they look scary, they feel scary. It's actually when we're with them, we realize they're not scary. I'll give you an example, so this isn't just theory. So for me, being able to heal anorexia, it was understanding that the program, the emotion, and the thought that was driving me to control food, beneath all of that was a desire to be loved, a desire to be accepted, and a calling to feel as though I was enough. To be able to actually cater to that need. to cater that basic human need and to understand it. That was what set me free from the pattern and program that drove me, even when I wasn't controlling food intake. The pattern was still there, the feeling was still there, the desire to be in control, the fear of the opposite was still there, because I was avoiding the emotion of rejection. I was avoiding the fear of rejection, the pain of rejection. I was avoiding the pain of not being loved and accepted. By facing those, acknowledging those, and being with those, I was able to liberate myself from the pattern. Once you are able to lose the fear of each emotion, and you have the capacity to see where you are avoiding something, then you have sovereignty of emotion. You have free will on an emotional level. Now let's go to body. Let's go to your nervous system. Because it's not just about thought. It's not just about emotion. It's about nervous system programs. Because our bodies, biologically, you are life with the desire of expansion of itself. Every single cell of your being is not just you that runs the show. Every single cell of your being is life. Whether it's a single-celled organism, a bacteria, a virus, a little bichito living on your eyelashes, whatever it might be, what makes up your physical being, your vessel, is billions and billions of cells of life with the desire of expansion of itself. And so your nervous system programs, it's not about you. It's about your vessel surviving in a physical reality. When you can see the beauty in that and realize that the patterns are not you, it's about the survival of the physical organism. And so the physical organism is focusing on what is endangering my safety, what's endangering my survival, what's endangering procreation, connection with tribe. Andrew Huberman talks about this. On a biological level, we are programmed as tribal beings to have a place within the tribe, so individuality. We are programmed for love is in fact that connection is safety, safety within the tribe. Certainty, so certainty of food and shelter. And then biologically novelty. So our capacity to learn and to seek new terrains, it's biologically within us. And so when you can observe your nervous system patterns and you can acknowledge what is survival, fight or flight response, then you have sovereignty of body. You have free will within your physical form. When we can acknowledge what are fight or flight survival responses, and we can acknowledge what is not serving us, and then from that place choose, we have the free will of choice. Then we can begin to program in different things that serve us to thrive versus survive. Because here is the piece when it comes to manifesting. So many of you are running on fight or flight responses to external factors and then suppressing an emotion because it feels scary to feel it unconsciously. This is all happening unconsciously. And then you're having surface level thoughts and believing those thoughts and then letting that run your actions and your choices. And so we think that manifesting is about all of this conscious stuff. The conscious awareness is the last part. It's what comes before it is what determines what you think and therefore what you do. So let me ask you that question again. Do you currently have free will? Are you currently leading yourself through your life based on free will? Or are you determining your reality, allowing your automated nervous system responses, your fear of certain emotions, and your incapacity to question your thoughts, are you allowing that to dictate you? Because if that is the case, you do not have free will. So when it comes to consistently and repeatedly manifesting the life you desire and it feeling safe to receive it and hold it, this is about that part of the iceberg that is under the surface. It is about training your capacity to question your thoughts, training your capacity to feel all of the emotions and not run away from any of them, training your capacity every single time to observe when you are in fight or flight, when it is not required, because fight or flight is a tool that you pick up when it's necessary and you put it down when it is not. Fight or flight is not a state of being. It's a tool, and a lot of you are in fight or flight all of the time, or a huge chunk of your day. You're not using it as a tool, you're in it as a state of being. Rest and digest, presence, inner safety, trust in yourself, that is the state of being from which you manifest and you enjoy. And so this is the work. Mind, emotion, nervous system. Mind, emotions, nervous system. Mind, emotions, nervous system. It is not something that happens overnight. It's a gradual becoming. It is a gradual awakening. It is a gradual healing process. Until what you currently see as being a far-off reality is your normal. And you no longer question it. If you enjoyed today's episode, we're going to be diving much deeper into this topic of how you can apply this in your life, what this looks like, through stories, through examples, how you can manifest your dream business with your dream lifestyle, with your dream income, with your dream clients, what that actually looks like, not from woo-woo, although I love a bit of woo-woo, from science. Like scientifically, biologically, psychologically, how is it created? We're going to be going much more into depth on this subject in our free event at the end of May. I'm going to be including the link to sign up to that event in the description of this podlet. Make sure you sign up, put the dates in your diary, come to the live sessions, watch the sessions on repeat until it makes so much logical sense you don't question it anymore. This is going to be such a transformation 3-day experience for you. I look forward to seeing you sign up. I look forward to seeing those of you who participate in the prize draw. And I will connect with you again next week for the next episode of your Power Packed Podlets.